Hello, this is Andrew Brooks interviewing Joyce Brooks for video project number 1. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what your job title is?
Sure. I work for BMO Harris Bank. I've been there for 28 years, and my job title is Head of Retail Lending Specialized Operations. I'm guessing you don't really know what that is.
Well, being a manager at a bank, can you explain a normal day of work as a manager?
Sure. So, what I do is I work in mortgage operations and consumer loan operations. So, I manage a bunch of teams that support getting mortgage loans and consumer loans approved. So, we're the kind of behind the scenes people. So, I manage managers. What that means is I spend my time, like in my days, in meetings, lots of meetings. We have meetings, projects when you're trying to implement a change. It's not just, oh, I decide to do that and tomorrow it's going. There's a lot of downstream effect. So we work with other areas of the bank to figure out the process, the procedures, document it, change management, train people. Um, and every day consists of fire drills where you just need to solve problems and solution things for your people, their direct reports, other people. And then, of course, there's the actual job of managing people and interacting with them.
All right, next question. Once you became a manager for the very first time, what was your biggest point of focus to successfully manage the people under you?
First was just to learn how to be a manager. Back in the day when I was coming up, so I was in loans, my career's all been about lending, but I was a worker bee before I became a manager. And in those days, they promoted people, and it still happens today, who were good at doing their job. You didn't necessarily know how to manage people or lead people. So you kind of had to learn on the job and figure out what your management style is and how to influence people, um, get them to accept change, um, give good feedback, be strategic, things like that.
All right, next question. What are some different managing technique styles that you have used that reflected positive work within your company? What were some that produced negative results?
So I think negative. So I think part of that is you have to understand the culture of your company. So if I was coming in from the outside and my company is, we're kind. That might be because we're Canadian now, and we're not a dictatorship. So while things come from the top down, we're kind of caring, and we collaborate and figure out everyone's opinion before we make a decision and move on. So I'd say dictator type management or authoritarian wouldn't be successful or hasn't been successful for me. It ties with your own personality as well. So I'm kind of a personal, friendly communicator style. So I take that into account with my management. But that doesn't mean you don't. Well, part of that is you still hold people accountable and check on what it is that you expect them to do.
All right, next question. If you had to give advice to a new manager on how to get the right results for the company and to keep a good workplace between employees, what would it be?
I think it ties back to what I just said. I would say understand the culture of the company and the business that you're in. Um, and kind of that old saying, you can't come in like a bull in a china shop. So you need to listen, understand what's going on, and work your management style to the styles of the people who report to you.
All right, final question. Over the years you have been employed, how has your management style or management in general changed over time?
So I would say it's evolved. My career, my jobs have changed over time. So when I started out, I managed individuals and a smaller team. So you kind of would be more of a management versus a leader in that environment. You're kind of checking the boxes. Did they do this work? Was it done on time? Was it done right? That kind of thing. And you're instructing, okay, now we're going to take on this task or we're going to do it this way. When you get a broader span of control, which is what I have now with like 9 managers reporting to me, you have to rely on them. So I would say it's more collaborative approach. Um, I still have to pass on messages, and we have to implement things together that maybe is not something that they want to do or the way they want to do it. So I do use influence and management to get that done, and you still always have to inspect what you expect them to do, and never think that the first time you say something, people are going to understand what you've said and what you meant by it.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.